Hello everybody, welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. In today's video we are doing chapter 6 of our series Lost by Time, where we discuss the lesser talked about players from chess history. In today's video we are looking over Artur Yusupov, a Soviet-German Grandmaster in his prime in the 80s, a little overshadowed by the rivalry of Karpov and Kasparov from this era. With that being said, a style analysis of Artur Yusupov would give you that he is a very positional player, just like his rival Karpov. And with that being said, let's get into this game. This is from the 1991 candidates in Brussels, Belgium, and the game is against Vasil Ivanchuk. With that being said, let's begin. The game begins with c4, the English, and e5, the reverse Sicilian. Now, it's called this because it is a Sicilian, which is a tempo down. G3, D6, Bishop G2, and G6. This is the snake variation. D4, Knight D7, Knight C3, and Bishop to G7. Knight to F3, Knight to F6, short castles, Queen to C2, Rook E8, and Rook to D1, and C6. B3, Queen to E7, and Bishop to A3, creating a pin on this E5 pawn. So you push it, attacking the knight. Knight moves to G5, E3 and F4. Knight to F8 looks to get over here in the future to the king side, while also opening up the bishop to going to F5. B4, Bishop F5. We have Queen B3 and H6, attacking the knight. The knight moves up to moves back to F3 and Knight to G4. B5, G5, takes on C6, and Knight E5, playing off the pin of the bishop. Takes on F4, and Knight takes C6. If we have the move Bishop takes C6, forking these rooks, we have Bishop takes E5, and if they take on E5, we will be taking on G3, with the king being naked over here. And if after Bishop takes E5, he was to take one of our rooks, we will still be taking over here, with the king side being extremely weak. With that being said, Knight takes C6 is played, and Queen to G5. Bishop takes D6, and Knight to G6, putting the knight to where it can put more pressure on this king side. Knight to D5, looking towards this E7 square. Queen to H5, and H4, because you don't want to get checkmated, fair enough. And Knight takes H4. It's after G takes H4, and Queen takes H4. The king side's extremely weak, and the king looks extremely unsafe here. Knight to E7 check, king to H8, and knight takes F5. Queen to H5 check. Queen to H2 check, king to F1, and rook to E6. Looking to get over to the G6 square and look over here. Queen to B7, and now we have the beautiful, brilliant move rook to G6. Queen takes A8, stupid, you just hung your queen, you just hung your rook. But, of course, it's not a blunder, because after king to H7, we have the forced move, Queen to G8 check. Because this rook, looking at this bishop, is so deadly that you have to sacrifice your queen so that the knight can come to E7, the king can move to H7, and you can win this rook. And after we have takes on G6, knight takes G7, and knight to F2 over here. Bishop takes F4, queen takes F4, lining up the queen here. Knight to E6, attacking the queen. The queen moves to H2. Rook to B1 is played, and knight to H3. Queen to G1 checkmate is threatened. So we have rook to B7 check, because if you were to take it, you're going to be checkmated here. With that said, we have rook to B7 check, king to h7 and rook to b8 check. Queen takes on b8, bishop takes on h3, but it's a forced checkmate here after we have the move queen to g3. Cannot stop this dark squared infiltration. I'm staring at this f2 square defended by the pawn that we pushed to e3 all these moves ago. On move 12, we put the pawn on e3, and on move 39, the f2 square is the decision maker, and the f2 square is where checkmate would be delivered. It's in this position Vasily Ivanchuk resigns. You saw a good chess game today, and I hope you have an amazing day. Goodbye.